This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon. Today we're going to talk a little bit about mental rent. I should call it rental. It's already really a word, isn't it? It's not really mental rent, rental ment. You know what I mean, mental rent. So basically, the idea that I want to share with you today of mental rent is this idea of the things that are occupying your mind. One of the questions that's valuable to ask yourself is this thing currently paying rent in my mind? And what I really mean by that is, if you're thinking about it so much, is that thing actually contributing to your life, or is it taking away from your ability to live? And so this is where a lot of people get caught up in, they just get, I just get caught up in my thoughts. It's like, that's sort of what happens. I know that's what it feels like, or thinks like, if you want to put it that way. But there's a little bit more to it than that. But the thing about it is that the things that we really, especially if, like, the easiest one is if they're people. It's like, if we're thinking that much about someone, we've got to have a look. It's like, is this person really contributing to our life? And people are like, that's really fucking harsh, dude. I'm like, good. Because it's your life. You got to be a bit harsh about it. And I mean, not harsh towards saying, oh, that person's not worth it. That's beside the point. What I'm getting at here is, you've only got a certain period where that dash between the two dates on your tombstone, it actually is in motion, is existing. It's your life, and you got to have a bit of an idea of going, am I prepared to spend X period of my life thinking about something or someone that really doesn't fucking pay rent, right? Pay rent for being there. In fact, it takes away the enjoyment of doing the other things in my life that I genuinely enjoy doing. And so this is an easy example when I see people and they're like, yeah, only 8 hours at work, that's all I do. And then you end up speaking to them and realizing that they're thinking of work outside of work, even though they're with their family. And what happens is that now they're not working 8 hours, now they're working 10 to 11 hours. And all of a sudden that pay or the salary that they're doing is spread over so many hours of the day. Like, think back on your life and think where you spent like a solid 12 to 14 hours thinking about work or something along those lines, and not in this like, fuck, I can't wait to go back tomorrow, but in this way of like, fuck, I don't know how to deal with this, I'm so sick of my boss, it really bothers me. It's like you're getting paid across the board, like actual financial income, to think about this shit and hate on your life outside of work, right? And if you want to accept that as a part of your work, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, it's your life, it's your perception that you get to choose. What I'm getting there is that at least consider the options with everything. And we've got to look at the same thing with people. And you know what? So many people keep people around just because they've got history. It's like, you don't need to do that. Like, history is a story. And stories, unfortunately, are mostly like fiction. And people go, no, I know, I was there, it happened, and this is what it was like. It's like, sure, but it's still from your frame of reference. If I have a story that I tell myself from when I was 7, my frame of reference as a 7-year-old wasn't very good. So my memories of that moment as a 7-year-old is really immature. It's not mature yet. I don't have the frame of reference of how is this affecting other people and what my parents may have been going through at that time when they made those things and said those things, and what their childhood was like and what happened at work and so on and so forth. And so now I grab this memory and I bring it into this moment and use it as a story to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing. But it's from a less mature version of me. It's just bullshit. It's just fluff. Right? And so this is where we have to have a look at, if we have his story or her story with people, we don't have to keep them around. This is the idea of breaking up with your parents. And people get really shocked by that because they're like, I can't break up with my parents. It's like, that doesn't mean get rid of them. That means stop being the fucking child. It means be an adult and speak to another adult. That's the difference. It's different. You don't need parenting anymore, right? If your parents are still trying to parent you, then there's a good chance you actually haven't broken up with them because you don't want to hurt their feelings, which sounds a lot like a fucking kid. No offense. Maybe a little bit of offense, but hey, that's on you. So what I'm getting at with all of that is looking at, it's not a matter of getting rid of people. That's not my point. What my point here is going back and being really diligent and honest about what are the things that are actually contributing to your life rather than taking away from your ability to live. And then you got to look at these things and go, hang on a sec, what's the cost here? Right? What's the mental rent that this thing is paying? Is it taking away from the things that I really enjoy doing and the people that I enjoy spending my time with and the life that I really want to... If I go on holidays, am I spending it thinking about work? It's like, mate, you're not on holidays. You're just stressing yourself about the work you need to do when you get back. Like, where the fuck is a holiday in that? It's a very expensive way to do it, right? And so our ability to learn what we can and can't do in any moment is also crucial and comes down to this, because if we're thinking about something and we're not there with them, right, and we're not consciously go, okay, I'm going to sit down and try and problem solve this, then what happens is that now we really are with our thoughts, and then our feelings they get involved because they're trying to back up the thoughts. They're like, hey man, I got you. Yeah, that guy's a dick. And he gets angry, your feelings that is. And what happens is that now we're all wound up, now we're feeling anxious, now we're feeling maybe even depressed about shit that hasn't even happened and may never happened. And may never happened, good English, may never happen. And the thing about this that's so interesting is that this is all thinking about something in the future. You're not present. You're not actually doing whatever the fuck you're doing. And the issue with being present right now in today's climate is that it's in fashion. It's like, be present wherever you are. It's like, fuck off. Like, don't tell me how to live my life. But it comes down to this idea of being present is being in your body and being in that moment, whatever is required of that moment. And it's trusting yourself in that moment to deal with whatever arises. If you're trying to think and problem solve and do all this sort of stuff, and there's balance here. It's not like black and white, okay, guys? Like, short little podcast on this, but bear with me. If you're constantly trying to problem solve something in the future that may happen, like worst case scenario style, like there's utility to being able to have a best case scenario profile and a worst case scenario profile, because it's broadening your perspective of the possibilities that may occur. The thing is, when we start reacting on a somatic response in the moment about something that's not actually occurring or what other people may think, and then we got to look at that and go, hang on a sec, are these motherfuckers paying rent? Am I getting paid to think about this shit outside of work? Right? Am I getting paid by the hour? Or am I getting paid to get the job done? That's different all over again. It's like, is this person really contributing to my life, or am I just concerned because I put them on a pedestal because of, for whatever reason, and I'm concerned what they're going to say, as if their opinion about me is more important than opinion about myself, what I know to be true within me. These are the questions we got to look at if we really want to take our power back and make sure that the people and the things and the thoughts that we allow to occupy our mind are actually fucking paying rent. This is simply just a way to make sure that you are giving yourself space to become a better person by letting go of the bullshit that other people are attempting to project on you, or, surprise, surprise, you're holding on to. And this is the thing, and this is a difficult thing to swallow. It really is, but there's some truth in it and there's some value in it, and I recommend you sit down and have a bit of a think about it. Is that the last thing that human beings will let go of is their suffering, because it justifies a part of their story. It justifies why they might do something. It justifies, why they're hurting and react particular ways, and that's not me. That's just because of this. You don't understand, etc. It's like, look, maybe I don't. Maybe, just maybe, there's an opportunity for you here to take responsibility about your future and start really thinking about who's paying and what's paying rent in your mind. Team, that's it. I'm out. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you found this podcast beneficial, it'll mean the world to me. If you would pass it on to someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you haven't already, jump on Facebook and search Mood Prep Online. Join the conversation there. Otherwise, that's it. I'm out. Until tomorrow, peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
To be everything at once, be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unlearned.